The following podcast contains spoilers and profanity. Hello and welcome to episode Joker's Trick of the Half and Half podcast. I'm your host, Clem Walker, and with me as always is MarsReviews.
I typed in Joker on Pornhub and I got Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
With deep faked Marco Robbie.
Shout out to Nude Effects on Pornhub.
Shout out Nude Effects.
They're a really good channel. Anyway, hey, we have a third person with us this time. And who are you?
I don't know. I'm Tim.
You're Tim the Wizard. You're from a certain cartoon planet, if you would. It's a triumphant return.
A triumphant. That's a bit of a stretch there. I wouldn't call anything associated with Cartoon Planet a triumph.
I would say so. I don't know. There's some decent episodes with that. It just, I don't know. We got the whole Gary Tremerky episode. Look forward to that. Also, look, you're gonna see him real soon.
That's my crowning achievement.
That's a good episode, anyway. Yeah. So we got a friend Tim here, and we're gonna talk about the hot new button film that came out, Jojo Rabbit. No, we're talking about Joker because that came out. Everyone's had their fix about it. Now we're gonna give our 2 cents, and Tim here has some differing opinions to most of the masses.
Does he?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a differing opinion.
It's a very positive responded movie.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of surprised by a bit of the reception. I was, like, in terms of public reception, I was expecting, like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, I don't know if most people are gonna like this, but, you know, reception's been pretty positive so far through,
it's kind of going down. Audience. I'm looking at it right now. Maybe it's just, like, more reviews are coming in, but, like, on IMDb, it's, like, 8.9, but, like, Rotten Tomatoes, I remember being in, like, the mid-70s, now it's at 68, and Metacritic giving it, like, a 59. I don't know what happened in, like, the week. Maybe, like, the hype for it went down.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. There was a lot of hype for this thing.
Maybe, like, middle out around 770 and stuff.
I think it's a bit of a mixture between, like, you know, more people seeing it and kind of the hype for it dying down, but I also think one of the big things with this, I don't know how well this will do on, like, this movie will do on a rewatch. Like,
yeah, that's a very good point.
I'm interested in rewatching it at some point with a new perspective on it.
I feel like the first half of the movie will suffer on a rewatch. It's like, I feel like if I were to rewatch stuff from Joker, it would have to be like once he not once he breaks, but I feel like around the middle of it, I think when he starts to look for his dad, like the second half.
I think that everything up, like, the scene where he's at the mental hospital where he's talking to the clerk, who's Brian Tyree Henry, that was honestly a great little scene right there. But, like, I think once that point came in the movie, I think I was, starting to be much more invested in the basic story, because, everyone who has seen Taxi Driver to an extent has basically kind of compared it to that. While I do see quite a lot in that, I also see quite a lot of another Scorsese film, King of Comedy. Those have been like the two big examples of that.
Comparisons to them,
like the big comparisons. And while I do think this movie has a bit more deviations from that, I think there are certain, like, characters and little, like, moments that kind of remind me of those two films more so than the whole film itself.
All right. Well, before we get into our big review of it, it was just like, we've already, like, given a small little sample of where our thoughts on just a little bit, but, like, I don't know. What's your guys' history with the Joker? Like, just, like, as a character, or just like just any sort of medium you've watched him in?
I think when the character is done well, they can be really good. I'm not a big comic book person, but I've consumed a fair share of, like, Batman media and all that. I think, like, even Jokers that not a lot of people really bring up, like, I think Jack Nicholson did a great job with Joker in the Tim Burton Batman movie, but it's like, I think recently the whole kind of obsession with, like, mentally ill part of that character's psyche is kind of overshadowed other aspects of it. I'd be more interested in seeing like a kind of Joker stories focus more on like the the scheming aspect of.
Yeah, like an actually like done well, like sort of more in depth Jack Nicholson type, or like just like something akin to like how he is in the Arkham games, just like you focus on him like way more than Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You think they'll make a Joker game?
Joker.
Yeah. No, think of like in Batman Arkham Asylum, it's like a little section where you play as him, and it's just kind of weird. It's like a stealth section even.
Does he still have like the combat like Batman? Where...
Yeah, it's kind of like weird actually. Yeah, but he's only like, it's literally only like one section.
Do they let you like turn into Buff Joker?
The Titan Joker. Yeah.
That is so fucking deflating.
That is the shittest ass thing ever.
It's just like Joker is just.
That's a good game, but that boss fight is so shit.
Like he's been kind of like meticulous and shit. He's been kind of like plotting and stuff, and it's like his final thing is like, fuck it, I'm gonna get buff.
That really was the Joker's trick. Yeah.
He's gonna take HGH and like fucking grow 8 feet.
Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah, you see his spine. Yeah.
I think what really can be said about Joker that hasn't really been said before. I think it's kind of like a character as iconic as he is. I think
he's one of the most popular comic book villains of all time.
Yeah, like there's a lot of interesting stuff you can do like in film that has been explored in like other medium about the Joker that I think I'd like to see more of.
Yeah, just like this whole film is about like more like a completely different Joker than we're used to. It's like definitely more like kind of. I mean, like he's always had like that small little backstory about him being down on his luck and just kind of like being a stand-up comedian, like the Killing Joke and shit like that. But this is one like is way like different than anything where like most people are used to. He's living with his mother. And that's I guess we can talk about Joaquin Phoenix's just performance in general.
Yeah, I honestly think this movie could not work with a weaker actor. The whole like I think when it comes to making like a whole character study of a character like the Joker, you have to have this like you obviously have to have someone with the acting chops to back that up, and I think Joaquin Phoenix has probably one of the greater ranges of most working actors today. Like,
he's honestly what elevated the movie.
Like his performance.
Yeah, I think the movie would be like as good without him. Like it's like one of those movies where it's just like, wow. I don't feel like he carried the movie, but he like carried it specifically because there's like I think a lot of stuff in this is like really good. Like
there's some good actors here, but it's like it's mostly like we're focusing on him.
I think Todd Phillips is just like, wow, you actually. You did a bunch of Hangover movies, and it's like, wow, this looks really good. Like, you actually are the cinematographer in this one. It's like, wow, you're pretty good. And it's like, yeah, but if you didn't have Joaquin, I ain't gonna fucking watch this at all.
Yeah, I was
actor.
Like, Joaquin Phoenix was kind of the main thing that captivated me into like seeing this film because like,
He's a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's like more selective about his roles. He's like, he wouldn't normally be one to sign on to these big to a big Hollywood movie. And I think this movie had like a slightly smaller budget, like I think it was around the $70 million range. But I think that also kind of like that kind of studio aspect and the whole like the fact that Todd Phillips' work beforehand hasn't necessarily been the most like, subtle.
Not at all.
Like I think there was a bit from. I don't want to be this guy just listing off other reviews, but Mark Kermode, great critic, really love his stuff. But he said like, oh, I was surprised that Todd Phillips went from making the Hangover movies, which I thought were just nasty and cynical, to making this. But then when I thought about it, it's not really that surprising since the nastiness and the cynical attitude is kind of the whole point.
That's typically how a lot of like actors, like even just not even just like directors, like I've noticed like a decent amount of like actors who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna start off with some comedy stuff and then like, oh yeah, and I'm gonna move into more serious roles. I think the only person I've seen like do something different like that is like John C. Reilly, where it's like he actually started off doing more cynical, like more serious roles, and then he just like
evolved. I was thinking because I was looking at Joaquin Phoenix, like I remember like him and like John C. Reilly were in a movie called The Sister Brothers, and I thought that was I saw that, but like I thought that like because there's 2 movies where John C. Reilly is like in an old-timey western, I think, shit, and I thought like, wait, is this Holmes and Watson? Like, what the fuck? Because I think they came out and they both came out in 2018, and they came out maybe like a couple months apart from each other, and it was like, Joaquin Phoenix was in the worst movie of the year?
Yeah.
What? They have like similar posters too, where it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, just standing next to each other.
With Joaquin Phoenix and Joker, like a lot of what he does in this movie kind of reminds me of like stuff from what was it? He has like this common character actor, like method acting thing that's kind of becoming a lot more common than it was back in the day. Because, now you hear a lot about how far actors go to transform themselves for roles.
Like Jared Leto.
Like Jared Leto,
I was just reading an article that just came out. It's like an AV Club one. I don't know if it's true, but it just says the headline, Jared Leto tried killing Joker. He's not happy that this did well.
Yeah, he's gonna go off to his like 30 Seconds to Mars, like weird island.
He's gonna come back for the urban legends.
Yeah, he has like some like weird like supposed like sex cult or some shit. Like I don't know if it's a sex cult, but I know it's like some sort of cult that he doesn't want.
I think I heard about that.
Like
it's like
island.
It's like the 30 Seconds to Mars Twitter account literally tweeted something like, yes, this is a cult, and all these people in like white robes and shit. It looks like fucking Midsommar out there. He's kind of what took the whole edge factor of like Heath Ledger's Joker to a comical level.
It's like even like he can be a good actor.
Oh yeah, I don't deny that. He's pretty good.
He can be a good actor, but he's never like that's like the first time, even though like it's Suicide Squad, he was in the movie for like 15 minutes. Like that was just like his vague time to shine, I guess. Because like he's not in a lot of movies for that long.
He's kind of a second man, but it does have some. He does have some movies.
I know that Jared Leto like tried to gain like he played like Mark David Chapman, like the guy who shot John Lennon in this movie that no one saw, and he gained like 200 pounds for it or something like that, and it's like permanently fucked up a part of his like biology, and that shit's kind of like, yeah, we get it, you're trying to go for this method acting approach, but it doesn't really work well with if it's like it's always a huge risk, especially if you're doing it for like a shit movie that no one's gonna see. But I mean, with Joker, you have more, like you probably have a guaranteed audience no matter what. So I think that's like part of where my issues lie with the film, because my biggest issue, besides like the kind of the way the story is paced, is the thematic elements of the film. A lot of people beforehand were like either praising this movie or shitting on it for its supposed message or what it's trying to, like what ideas it's trying to express. While I personally think that the movie is designed in a way where anyone can see like something they agree with in the movie message.
Mm-hmm.
It's very broad.
Like it addresses all these. I guess we're going into spoilers now, but it's
that's the whole thing. Spoilers. It's fine.
Oh, okay. But like, you have all of these, social protests going on, and you have the main character of Arthur kind of like, it's like, you don't really know if he's like for all of this social revolution stuff or if he's like really against it. Like after he kills the guys on the subway, like starts the whole revolution and all that. But it's like, I think if you're someone who has a different perspective on these like social issues than someone else, you can see your ideology being reflected in the film's message, either condoning the character's actions or, you know, thinking they're immoral. So it's really like, in a way, I find that weirdly like clever, because you're basically making a movie that's controversial without alienating a lot of people.
Yeah, you don't really take like a. I don't think Joker just is very neutral in it, like a lot of it.
The thing he constantly kept saying is like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not political at all." He wants that whole tirade about the
Joker,
the protests.
The ultimate centrist.
Yeah, yeah.
He says that right before going on Heidi and shooting Robert De Niro.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm literally taking part in the protest.
I'm a centrist and then fucking guns.
I don't follow
Robert
politics. You're the problem.
I'm not political. Fucking kills a figurehead.
Yeah.
I'm not glad they didn't take a hard stance, but I think that is pretty. It makes the movie a lot more, much more.
Makes it very open for people
to talk about and like discuss about it.
It's broad enough where you can discuss. There's like the whole film is like has those sort of like ambiguous things to like where he does like, okay, did he do this? Did he do this? But stuff like that.
I don't necessarily. I understand that perspective, but I think it's like the big thing I have with it is I feel like the movie like acts as if it has like a lot more of a deeper meaning than it actually does. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like where like if this movie didn't like act as though it had a major political slant, which I felt it kind of.
I guess that also plays into the hype though.
Yeah, I think that like it's partly the hype, but I do think they show a lot of things that kind of have like political meaning to them, and it's kind of like just like, hey, look at this. This is a thing that exists. It doesn't like really say anything more in depth on that. Even like I would have preferred it even if it wasn't like incredibly subtle, because I don't think the movie was going for subtlety at all.
Oh no,
like not at all. It's like kind of weird when you have it like kind of dance around these like ideas. Like there are things where like you could like, let's say you kind of view Arthur's actions more as like kind of an unintended consequence of how the rich treat the poor and all. Or you could be
like, he's getting the shit kicked out of him, and he shoots the guys in self-defense, and then just runs away.
Yeah, it's not like there's any political motivation.
Oh, it just happens to be the big consequence. Like, yeah, the three rich kids get shot on the train.
Well, those guys do look like Trump's. I think.
Yeah, they look like the Trump kids. Honestly, yeah, like I don't. Even though I do think like the movie has a weirdly weirdly muddled stance, I think that I don't understand why like people who have even seen the movie are saying like it's like incel shit at all. Like the only thing I can
a lot of the value or a lot of the things that I don't think some of the stuff that it probably does promote, because it promotes like shit like the fucking like when they cut like the funding for like mental health institutes and like shit that would be more valuable like left. It's just like, what? Like, this is an incel. I wasn't.
Yeah,
you were really disappointed in the theater. Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed that it was incel shit, but I was just like, what do these people have?
You bought your pickles for nothing.
It's like the only thing I can sort of understand that is the whole like fake girlfriend thing, which I think easily could have been taken out of the movie and should have been taken out of the movie, because that.
Yeah, they didn't really need to be there at the end of the day.
It didn't add much to it, and there was the whole like.
And there's no real payoff for that aside from him just going into her house.
I think I think one payoff for me, it wasn't a true payoff, but I thought it was funny. Like, he has this fake girlfriend and he takes her to the comedy club, and then he's just like builds up like, oh fuck, I'm epic, and then when he gets crushed, it makes it even more.
Well, I mean, you could have that without her being there still.
Listen, I think it's funnier that he's.
You just wanted to look at sounds he beats.
Yes.
Who was only in there for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, she had less than 15 lines.
She had less
That's
screen
enough.
time than Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, but yeah, she did actually. Yeah.
And they had the whole like cut where they like the montage of her like not being there.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like, no.
Well, it could be. They also like kind of like they literally just kind of spoil it when he makes out with her like after killing the guys. And
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
this is not
It's
real.
like, yeah, no, there's no way.
A
There's
little bit more, like, because it would make the, I don't know.
Yeah, it would have made that stronger if we didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
'cause
Because
he
like,
just,
yeah,
like,
we're
opens
just
the
supposed to
door and
assume that he
kisses
actually like went home and kissed this girl, this man who literally has fantasies in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I just thought, like, I don't know, maybe if you like talk to her a little bit and then like they, progress
No.
into that.
It's
maybe
like-
it would have been something. I
No,
think
you-
it's kind of
Like one other
Someone-
interaction with her,
if-
like actual, but no, it's just the one on the elevator with her kid.
Joker gets canceled for sexual assault.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if it was real.
Just
It's like,
kisses her.
because she has like is she like a single mother or does she have like a
I-
She it seems like she's a single mother.
Yeah, she just has
Other
her
guys
kid,
in
and
the hall.
that like I think
Shit.
I was suspicious. Like I kind of figured that out as soon as she was like making like the fucking like suicide hand motions in front of her like little kid. It's like no one would do that.
I was just like, bro, Joker's racist. He ain't gonna fuck with chicks.
Yeah, he's not. He may be an incel, but he's not a racist incel.
That's pretty cool. Like he fantasizes about black women owned.
Yeah, but that's another thing. It's like I think a big part of this, as soon as like I was kind of I kind of expected the controversy to surround this movie as soon as I was like reading about how like it's more inspired by like stuff like Taxi Driver and like Martin Scorsese films and like 80s crime dramas and character studies. It's like you cannot make a movie that's even remotely like Taxi Driver like even
weird.
like a basic carbon copy of the story in 2019 without people fucking getting pissed off
like
because
the literal like mentally like disturbed person who's like at a boiling point where things aren't going his way to where he almost resorts to killing a senator.
Speaking of Scorsese, I thought it was really weird that he was like attached to. I didn't know he left, but like I felt like, dang, you're producing this movie that's basically like.
This is basically just your movie.
Yeah, it's just like.
it's like a crossbreed of two of your movies.
Yeah, it's just like, huh.
And his associate, like, the man who's like, Marvel movies aren't movies, so I'm just gonna put my name on this DC thing. That's like, it's different, but it's still like, it's still attached to like, this property that's like Batman punching someone.
Oh, he left.
Yeah. He left like I think he left like before the first
Before the
trailer came out.
controversy.
Yeah,
No,
like
he
before
left
the
way
first.
before. Yeah, that was way
That was-
before. He left probably like
Damn.
a couple months after. If I was him, I would give him like I would just be like being a dickhead. It's like, yeah, you're making my movie, you piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck him.
You fucking.
I can imagine Todd Phillips doing
I don't know.
that.
What did we think of all the Batman parallels in this?
That also was unnecessary.
That was a little weird. Like I don't know. It's like if they're not gonna use that shit in like the following.
No, they're not. There's not gonna be a sequel to this movie.
No, not like a sequel. Like they'll just use it in like the Batman. Like my parents were killed by this.
No, yeah, the next Batman Robert Pattinson iteration's not gonna have a Joaquin Phoenix Joker or even allude to this.
And that one's like a reboot of like Batman, so they're just gonna have to kill his parents again.
Yeah, I
His
can't wait for
parents-
that.
His parents have died 3 years, like a couple years straight. Like it's Teen Titans Go, this, and then it's gonna be like the new Batman.
Yeah, fucking yeah. There was. It was literally like fucking Teen Titans Go.
They shoved
Batman.
them. They like put their jewels on them and shoved them into the gun.
fucking we did not need to see the pearls again. What the fuck? We did not need that.
They're iconic.
His parents getting shot are iconic. We don't need to see his pearls fall on the
No,
floor.
his mom always wears like fucking pearls, and pearls are.
God damn it! Bitch.
The pearls are a sign of fucking wealth.
We can see her getting shot without the goddamn pearls fall.
But the pearls can give you, if you don't know.
I get it.
Why are you so angry?
This
It
fucking
makes sense.
sucks. They like that's the only good joke in the Teen Titans Go movie, and they even like the pearls have to be on her.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard like there was a test screening or whatever where there was, or like an early draft of Joker where they had like a scene where Arthur was talking to like the I think it was a similar scene to the one we see in the actual movie where he's like at Wayne Manor and all that, and he's talking to young Bruce Wayne. But then it had like Arthur was gonna say something like, "You want to hear a joke?" And then it was gonna like have a hard cut to like Thomas Wayne's funeral. I was expecting that to happen in the movie.
Seems cooler.
This seems funnier. I would have like if that had actually happened, I would have just been like fucking laughing my ass off. Like there were a lot of other like little moments in the movie that I wasn't sure would be like intentionally comedic or not.
No, like which ones?
Like there are certain scenes in this movie. I don't know if they're supposed to be played for comedy, but they have like joke setups. But it's like always really fucked up situations. Like as soon as they showed like the kid, like Arthur in the hospital in the clown makeup when he was like visiting the kids with cancer, I knew like, oh god, this is like a comedy. This is like a comedy setup.
Yeah, this happened that wide angle. Well. Like yeah,
it's just the way how that one shot is really fucking hilarious, and when his gun falls out and the way he like kind of jumps down on it is fucking good.
But that's the thing though. I don't think that's supposed to. I don't think. I
think pretty sure it's supposed to be just a tiny bit of levity.
I don't maybe
because like people in the audience laughed at that, and I think I chuckled at this.
People in the audience laughed when when he was like a scene like the fucking scene where he kills the guy who gave him the gun.
Oh yeah, we laughed at that too.
There was the little guy
who couldn't reach the door,
which is like it was like okay, you're gonna show that this one guy. He's not even like a terrible person. He's basically innocent. Yeah, he's the only reason he's spared is because he was nice to Arthur, and then he's fucking used for a really horrible joke.
That joke was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
If they had the thing was though, it was like during a scene where it was supposed to be like horrifying.
It was horrifying. It was like this guy gets shot. Like this guy gets stabbed.
No, not even shot. He gets stabbed and he gets fucking head bashed in.
His head like that. I don't know. I like how like the fucking multiple fucking emotions going on.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one at all.
I guess
that was like kind of the near turning point for it. That was like right before the interview, which like that like kind of saved, but like that's like what really brought the second half of the film. Like
that, that's the main the emotions. I wasn't really feeling like much like tension or anything like that throughout the first part. There were like scenes I did really enjoy. Like I think I mentioned the hospital scene as like the turning point. But I really
even just like his like there was some good performances. Like Francis Conroy played his mom.
Like there were little moments throughout the first half of the film. I thought, all right, I actually kind of like what they did here. But then there are other moments like the structure felt very much like repetitive early on. But then as soon as like he finds out he's adopted and all, and kind of breaks after that, I thought all that stuff was pretty good. And of course the talk show scene, I actually felt pretty tense during like the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
I thought all right,
legitimate. Like I'd give those scenes like a 9 or 10.
Yeah, that's
it's just like I don't know, maybe. It's just like how it's shot, how he kind of just like how when he does get in like full Joker mode acts, and just like having Robert De Niro actually give a shit. It's like, whoa.
That's a good point here. Robert De Niro giving the shit for like the first time.
Yeah, when Robert De Niro gives a shit, like you have been away from him other than like older movies, but like, wow, when he really does want to try,
when he's not making Dirty Grandpa.
He's not. Yeah, he's not just playing like old angry Italian man. An actual character. Like I thought as like a fake.
Real. He was just on like the news cursing and shit.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw that one too.
But he's like, in terms of playing like a fake like a kind of like one of the like a cheesy fake like talk show host who has like a lot of like the power,
Johnny Carson.
And all that. Yeah, like I thought in that role it was pretty good. I was worried at first it was going to be a little too like reliant on like the whole King of Comedy homage, but that stuff I thought was genuinely like interesting. I just wish and of course the the riot scene at the end where he's like doing the little dance, save for the fucking obligatory Bruce Wayne and his wife killing.
Yeah, we needed to see that.
Yeah, you said
And it's like
you said like Robert De Niro being a fake Italian, and I was like, I questioned that for like a split second. I was like, no, he is Italian. It's De Niro.
no,
Like,
I'm not saying fake Italian.
I know, but I was just thinking of like
media personality.
what if that was like he was just like some not even
Just not Italian at all. Like an Ariana Grande, like he just tricked people for years, gaslit them.
He's tricked them for decades.
For decades, everyone thought Robert De Niro was Italian.
He just acts
He's
Italian out of nowhere and like.
Ever since he played fucking Vito Corleone, they just thought, oh, hey, this new Italian actor.
He what was it? He's like fucking German or something like that.
Yeah, just like he's a completely different ethnicity.
No Mediterranean ancestry whatsoever.
It's
No.
like talking about like this is Mama's favorite sauce. Wait a fucking minute. Are you making marinara sauce? You fucking.
He's not watched The Sopranos yet.
Yeah, he's not watched The Sopranos. Yeah, that's why he wasn't in The Sopranos.
They wanted him, but they said like, how Italian are you?
You are not authentic enough.
Well, he's playing the Irishman now. So
He
who
is,
knows?
yeah.
Maybe he's coming to a true calling.
Holy shit.
Truly
Yeah, finally, the truth comes out.
The Irishman is just a call out of Robert De Niro being a fucking
The story of one.
They changed the name of the film like halfway through production.
fucking. It's three men. Al Pacino.
Yeah, why are you calling? Hey, why is it called The Irishman now?
Joe Pesci.
I don't know why.
Joe Pesci realizing we have all been frauds. We're not Italian.
I trusted you ever since Goodfellas, man. Casino, what the fuck?
That'd be cool. The most famous Italians are not
The most famous example of gaslighting in cinema. Oh my god.
But yeah.
Alright, anyway, back to Joker.
Back to Joker. Did you brought your pickles to the screen?
Yeah, fuck off, Mars. Fuck you for that, seriously. I swear to God.
I was
Why
surprised.
are you so mad? You didn't have to do anything.
I'm fucking mad because I had to deal with the aftermath, the consequence of you fucking buying pickles in my state.
What is the consequence?
The personal consequences I have to deal with.
What?
Okay, so yeah, let's explain this one. Yeah, so Mars and two other friends who came to the good old tri-state area for New York Comic Con. They hung out at my place. And it was Mars, our friend Front Porch. You saw him from the Spider-Verse podcast, and our good friend Depping Dots. Yeah, he's pretty cool. It was nice to hang out with them. And so, like the Sunday before they had to leave, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna see Joker. Let's go out to eat beforehand." So yeah, so we went to Costco and ate for a little bit, and we're like, "Hey, we should buy pickles."
Really good.
Because we're just gonna go to the theater right after this, and they're like, "Why the fuck do you want to buy pickles?" And they just didn't explain it to me. And they're like, "Okay,
You don't need
fine."
them,
I'm not gonna eat them.
I know.
I didn't eat them.
That's not what they're for.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to explain what they're for then?
Oh, so our friend Bernie like brought pickles in a mask to like his theater, and it was just like okay. And the point is that it's like a meme. It was like some like shitty joke on like fucking like TV or some shit. And it was just like if you bring a pickle to the screening, the shooter will know not to shoot you. So we all had our pickles protected, and Glum did not want one, so that's why he got shot.
I didn't want you guys to buy the pickles in the first place.
Why? What's your problem with us buying pickles?
You just bought this big ass jar of like
You're not
Dill's
answering
pickles.
my question.
You bought like a $4 big ass jar of pickles.
And how does this affect you?
Cause I gotta deal with you didn't bring them with you back on the plane.
You could have just kept them. Why the fuck did
I
you?
didn't want to keep them.
Why?
Were you eating
It's
the
like
pickles?
big and uncomfortable. Like I can't put this anywhere. I can't put this in a cupboard.
Glum,
Were you-
just put it in like fucking anywhere.
I'm not gonna. You have to put it in your fridge after you open it. I'm not gonna do that.
Why not? You just put them in plastic bags.
No.
Little bags or something.
Alright,
I just
were
threw it
you-
away right after you guys left.
Were you eating the pickles during the screening?
I was eating mine a little bit. I took a bite out of mine.
And you just
I
left
left-
your,
yeah, I
at
left
the end of
my
the day, you just
pickle.
like left it there.
I left it on the seat for the next person.
Yeah, for the usher to clean up. It's like, why? Who the fuck did this? I knew people in that theater, so probably someone I knew cleaned that up.
Did they know where the fuck you sat?
Yeah, no,
they don't know it was you. What the
no,
fuck do they care about? People fucking shit and puke in like
you guys
movie
suck for
theaters
that.
all the
That's not fucking. That sucked.
What?
You should not have done that.
Why?
Did you hear that?
What consequence did we suffer because of it?
You put like pickles and shit all over my house. You like left one in my room.
Because you were. It would have happened if you didn't make such a big deal out of it. So I just left pickles in your room.
God damn it!
What you just like? It's like fucking.
No, I had like a gigantic ass like a 10-inch tall Joker figurine of like the Heath Ledger Joker on the Dark Knight, and fucking like literally like Mars and company left on like an Uber or a Lyft or whatever. And as soon as I like I say goodbye to them, I come back into my room. I see my Joker with his arms splayed out and a pickle on top of him.
He's reaching his arms out to offer you the pickle.
Yeah, he did that twice.
Should have just left the whole jar of pickles.
You just like you try to like you wake up.
You know what I regret doing?
And right next to your pillow is like you feel around, like you're like, hey, oh man, my neck's a bit stiff. You like reach around, pull out like a dry pickle, like all the pickle juice is soaked into like the bed. Like
honestly, there was like very minimal security at my theaters. We could have just brought a jar.
What I wish I could have done was just like, I wish I just like went around like the whole house and just was like, I'm just gonna leave pickles here.
Yeah.
And just like make it like a game.
I'm happy you didn't do that.
Just like taking
you
a
just
shower
like
and
scurry around my house looking for batteries. Every single drawer.
There's a pickle where the soap is, and you're wiping yourself with pickles.
Yeah, you just like mix the pickle juice from like into my soap.
He pours the pickle juice into like the bath.
Now, Glenn,
like in the fucking the water heaters. Every time I take a bath now.
And now you know if I go back there, you have an audio recording of what my plan will be. I'm just gonna leave pickles around the house.
I'm not letting you buy pickles again.
I'm gonna bring them beforehand.
No.
You can't stop. I'll put them in my.
No, that's contraband. You can't bring them.
You can bring pickles on. I brought when I was on my plane. I brought wings on there. They can let me bring pickles.
No, that's contraband. No, you're not allowed to do that.
I don't know. You can hide them. You can like put them in like a condom.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What else should we talk about, Joker wise?
Yeah. Are we?
Who's the cinematographer for this one? That guy deserves not an Oscar. No, not at all. But like he deserves a good thumb up.
Speaking of, do you think Joaquin is worthy enough of a nomination at least?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think who else is up this year. It's like
we have no idea.
I think
maybe like the guy from The Lighthouse, maybe, or some of these other like movies, maybe. But like, I think him being on there because like. I don't think because it will be like a popularity sort of because they want to move into like more of like we want to get more notable movies on there, and I don't think he's bad in it at all. So
I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was really good.
He fulfills two quotas. He's popular enough, and he was actually good. I don't think he'll win, but I think him being.
I don't know. I don't even want him to win. I just was saying like I would just like I think he's worthy enough to get a nomination.
Yeah, I think he's worthy enough to get a nomination, but I would not be upset if he won because I think he's a great actor. He's like I think many of the years he was up for stuff, it was like kind of unfair because like he was up against like Daniel Day-Lewis one year. He was up against Philip Seymour Hoffman. No, he is not.
Really? I thought he did.
Like he was up against because he was up against Philip Seymour Hoffman and Daniel Day-Lewis, and those guys were like the greats.
What about any nominations or stuff for her?
No, I don't think he did.
I thought he got nominated for her.
I don't know how I would feel about the movie itself being nominated for Best Picture. I feel
I don't.
Oh no,
I think it might. I had a bet going about that actually. If I lose, I'm gonna have to watch Birth of a Nation.
What?
Yeah, I made a bet with one of my friends.
The new one or the remake or
the old one? It's not.
Isn't he mean Beast of No Nation?
No, Birth of a Nation.
The new Birth of a Nation.
No, there's a Birth of a Nation by like Nate Parker. That was like 2016. That was pretty meh.
It's like you have.
Well, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty good.
The main thing is, I would be kind of upset if I got like a best adapted screenplay because I don't think this. I think the script was definitely the weakest part of the film.
I would be fine with certain like technical and like I don't know about supporting roles because like it really is.
Yeah,
just him,
no,
so
I don't think. I don't think.
But like
Yeah, Robert
best
De Niro
actor,
wasn't in it enough. Frances Conroy was good, but she also wasn't in it enough.
I'd be alright with technical and like best actor awards, but everything else I'd be kind
Yeah,
of iffy on.
that'd be kind of be how I feel. Like I think.
Yeah,
best score,
I would say like
best
having
score-
it be nominated for
Yeah,
best
the
cinematography
music's
or
pretty
something.
good, too.
Yeah, the
Music's pretty
music.
good.
Music's good. I really like the production design and the, like all the sets all looked really good. So yeah, I think
And it's like
overall,
this 1980s Gotham City.
We need a
Oh.
we need a pick for supporting actor. We have all these white ladies. We need to put one. Let's put Zazie Beetz in there for her role in Joker.
Zazie.
her
12
her
seconds.
glorified
For her 2
glorified
seconds in Joker.
cameo.
Good job, Zazie. Wait,
Yeah.
what's her real
Done it
name?
again. Another comic book movie in your,
I don't
in
know.
your repertoire.
There we go.
I guess that's another thing I like about it. It's like, I feel like, it's not, it didn't need to be like a Batman story, like at all. Like it didn't need to be, but the fact that it is, like, yeah, it does feel like one of those one-off like comics.
One thing I will say is that like one advantage I'd give this about like most other comic book movies is that even if I didn't think parts of it were great, I at least thought it was interesting, and I
felt like it had a
wouldn't
place.
say, yeah, it had a place, and I wouldn't say I was bored. Like I watched Shazam recently, and I had a lot of fun watching Shazam. I think Joker's a movie that's kind of will kind of be talked about more.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
Shazam will be like one of those ones that I really enjoyed, but it is kind of like, yeah, I probably might not remember its existence like going like 20 years down the line. It is kind of like a fun.
That's a little bit of Joker for me. Like I enjoyed Joker, but it's like some stuff, parts of it are just kind of slipping through my memory, just a little bit. Like there's a lot of stuff like him talking to Thomas Wayne and shit like that, and just like getting the shit kicked out of him.
That scene was kind of weird.
That was kind of weird. He just like beat the shit out of this mentally
No.
challenged man.
It's like that, and the fact that he was just like, he was able to like break into this like,
just walk into the fucking.
He was like walking into this like, high profile event just because there was like a backdoor entrance that no one was looking after. It's like he literally just waltzes in. But yeah. So overall, would you guys say you enjoyed it?
Yeah,
I had fun. It was the first half kind of is a little stumbly, but the second half is really good.
Yeah, the hype kind of spoiled just a tiny bit for me because like even though I never watched any trailers for it, the constant talking about it just like.
What did you have spoiled?
Oh, not spoiled. I didn't really like any. I kind of had a little bit spoiled for me. Like I think like someone mentioned like, oh, he creates Batman or some shit like that.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Expected that a little.
Yeah,
bit.
I kind of expected parts of that. As soon as like, they said that Joker was gonna show up on like Robert De Niro's show, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna fucking kill him.
I thought it was gonna be a little bit different. Like I thought, like, all right, Robert De Niro hosts a talk show. I thought it would be like Batman watches the talk show with his family, and then like his dad would like do some shit because.
No, they just happened to be watching Zorro at the exact same time the talk's just happening.
Damn, why can't you guys like? Where's your security? Where's Alfred?
Where's Alfred?
No,
yeah.
Alfred. They showed Alfred.
That's Alfred's
No, where's
lame.
Alfred when they're in the alley? He's gonna fucking take a bullet.
He doesn't just follow them everywhere.
Why don't they have security?
Oh,
That's actually a really good point because like they
understood
fucking
that
they
in,
typically
Batman
like walked
comics.
out. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I guess
Just that whole thing kind of felt convoluted. Like, yeah, they walk out during the protest and then they just get shot.
Call this a nitpick, but I've always thought like, I know people that are like, that have probably like not even a fraction of what they have, but they have security 24/7. Like when they have to take a fucking piss. So like, why isn't it like, what is his name? Like Alfred Wayne or what his dad?
Pennyworth.
It's like what the.
It was the 40s back when the first.
Where's the
version.
mafia to
They
protect you?
Yeah, they didn't change it at all.
Where's the fucking like the gangsters that'll protect you? I don't know. I don't know when security was initiated.
That's fine. This Alfred sucked.
Yeah. Are we gonna read any questions?
Oh yeah, we'll do that in a second. I don't know. What'd you give the movie like out of 10 though?
Um,
7.
Yeah,
I don't know if it. I'd say probably like a
maybe
6.
like a 7 or like leaning towards an 8 because of the interview part. That's about it. Though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go more toward 6. I don't think it's like. I don't think about how I really rate movies at this point.
I don't know. Just a broad thing you just use it.
Yeah.
Like, keep in your memory. It's like, oh yeah, that's what I gave it.
Like a 6 is probably
It's just
the
like the
number
reason we
that
have that.
it sums up kind of the like I like a lot of it, but there's some other stuff I think like isn't really that good. But overall, it was a fine experience. Like I'd recommend people at least see it.
I'm happy
once.
I saw it. It's like the first interesting thing I've seen in a while.
It's the first interesting like movie that has like it doesn't have a big production, but it has a good marketing budget that's being pushed out.
And
That's,
people
like,
talked about it.
actually worth a damn. Like I don't know. Like
I still like some more movies I saw this year a little bit more. Like I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but it's just like a completely different feeling movie.
I agree. I think in terms of I haven't seen much stuff this year, but I'm hoping to watch some more.
You need to watch like Ad Astra. Probably see Jojo Rabbit next week.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to see Ad Astra. That was like the one who was like, oh, I'm interested in seeing this. I had a friend who saw.
Did I enjoy this?
I've heard mixed things from it. Like I've heard a friend of mine basically compared it to, like the original cut of Blade Runner, where you can tell like a lot of the studio probably made a lot of changes to it, added dumb shit in.
All right, then I guess I'll wait for.
Very weird, but like I'm wondering, did I enjoy this more than Toy Story 4?
I
have not seen Toy Story 4, so I do not know.
I guess if I'm gonna have like a place counter currently, like at my top 5, I don't know. I think I'll put Joker at number 5, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I'll see. I might see something I like better when Oscar season comes around.
I think I put like Toy Story 4 like currently, and I'll watch more movies by then. But like I think I'll put it under it because like I thought Toy Story 4 was gonna be like a complete train wreck, and it was actually really good. And I was like, I like this one movie I saw, Last Black Man in San Francisco, more than this. I like
I heard those
Once
really
Upon a Time Hollywood better than this, and what's the other one? I'm forgetting one.
I like Missing Link better than this.
I have to I rented it, but I never got to finish it. I had to return it, but I'll probably watch Missing Link. It'll probably
Missing Link is fun. That's a fun movie.
I forget the third movie I watched, but it's in there currently.
Yeah, let's answer some questions now. All right, so if you want to ask us a question, be sure to join the Half and Half Podcast Discord and ask us stuff in the questions and suggestions channel. You can do that by clicking on the Discord link on our Anchor page, or the link in the YouTube description. Coolio. It's been pretty good. We got a lot more active lately, and some more people join. It's cool. Yeah, from Mikey S. Question for Mars: what's the worst teacher you've ever had?
The one that showed me fucking porn.
What? Oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that one.
Oh yeah. Have you told that story on here before?
I think you mentioned it once, but I don't know.
Okay, how about like the other question? The worst teacher I had was like a Latin teacher, and she was just like a bitch, and like Latin sucks, and like all the shit that she would give you was really mad. And then I failed that class, and the first day I returned to that class, I threw a desk at her.
Oh, you just mentioned the porn one briefly.
Oh, I didn't throw a desk at her, like I didn't hit her. I threw it towards her.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah, I threw it. I was really mad at this teacher because I failed this Latin class by specifically 1 point.
Oh.
1 point, and I was like, "Can I get an extra credit point?" And then she was like, "No." So like the next year, I went to that class again. And I was fucking pissed off at her. And then
why'd you take Latin?
Because there was someone who could take a language, and my sister told me taking Latin is better than Spanish, and it wasn't. So I was like, I just tossed a desk to like a little desk that was like towards her direction, and she was like, "All right, got detention now." So I never. But the cool thing about that one is I never took a language really in like fucking school, or never had to pass a language. So fuck you. I don't know anything.
That's good at least. I took 2 years of Spanish, and I still don't speak Spanish despite being half Latino.
I don't know Latin. I'm good for it. I don't know. Wait, what was the question about? Like the
it was like the worst.
The worst teacher you've had. So the one that showed you porn?
Oh, that was like the 6th grade like woman that looked like Michael Jackson when he had like vitiligo. So she was just like, she had like probably some mental problems or something. But like one of her things was that she used to bring her dog and shit to school. because like she said like, I gotta touch things. I don't want to touch the kids. Like she says at a PTA meeting, like, oh, I bring my dog here so we don't have to touch the kids.
What?
Yeah, it just sounds really strange, but okay.
Yeah.
First off, we didn't really have like big classrooms. We had like little huts and stuff. So there's not much room, but there was enough room to fit all the desks for children. But like she just let us sit on like this white mat that her dog would piss on and shit on, and like the dog would play on. There's a bunch of dog hair and dandruff on there, or dander shit. So not very good. There's a giant like yellow piss stain in the middle. And all the dog toys are laid out, and like if you touch one, you get detention. So
Okay.
if you touch the dog, you get detention. But like she was just kind of like she was just teaching us about like fucking music stuff. Not really, but like the classes were 45 minutes. She would spend maybe like 30 of them just talking talking to children about bullshit, and then 15 was about the stuff. But like she would assign homework that's like, write 3 pages about the lessons today. We didn't learn anything, so all I did was, and it worked for some reason, I just made the font really big. I made like the size to like 72. It goes like, we learned that pop music is really palpable to people with fucking ears on the radio, and she'd give that like 100. So she's like retarded. So one day, this was her downfall, was that we're 6th graders and we're just going like, we're talking shit about Justin Bieber. We're like, Justin Bieber's gay. Justin Bieber's fucking like boys. Because we're like 12 and like 11, and we're 6th grade. We're just calling him gay and shit. And
back in like 2012 or so.
Yeah, it's just like immature boy shit, bro. Toxic male shit. But we're just like calling him gay, and then she overhears us, and for word she says, yeah, I think he's a and it was like and I'm just like everyone's just kind of like and then she just keeps going like, yeah, I think he's a and then she's like and we're all uncomfortable by this, and then she just keeps trying to make her point, so she types in like lesbians with little Justin Bieber, and it's a porn site, and like all this fucking shit, and it's like, what is wrong with you? Like, we're 12 and like what the fuck? So we leave the class, and then we tell her parents that, and then like they take it to the PTA, and then she gets like, she doesn't get fired, but like she has like a little going away party in class, like, yeah, I'm moving back to Seattle, and it's like, it's nothing, I didn't get fired or nothing. And then like that's clearly like a lie. It's like, we know that you fucking got told that you gotta fucking leave. Like, I had first I want to say like one thing about that last teacher I had. It was like the funniest like irony. Like, I wanted to own the shit out of her, but I couldn't because I was like 12. Like, so she got fired for basically showing people like porn, and then calling Justin Bieber like the F word and stuff, and it was like really fucked up just to do that in front of a bunch of 6th graders. But like when we were at her little like going away party thing in class, where she looked like she wanted to kill herself, it was like she said like, all right kids, we gotta watch 2 movies, Spy Kids 3D or like SpongeBob. And I said SpongeBob because like SpongeBob is cool, and one kid said Spy Kids 3D, and I just went up to her, was like, bro, Spy Kids is gay. And then she's just like, what did you say? What you just said was very homophobic, very offensive, and would hurt a lot of people. How would you like it? And I'm just like, didn't you just call Justin Bieber like a boy ago got fired? And it's like, what are you coming on to me like this, like with this bullshit?
No, that's fine.
It's like, fuck you, teachers. You guys are really cool, but I hate you.
Some of these are just like, what happened to your Walt
Oh,
Disney
I had
video?
another teacher.
God damn it.
It was like recently, so I was like gone for New York Comic-Con for that thing, and I had asked told a teacher, I was in a college teacher, that I was like, I'm not gonna be there, so like can I have my work in advance? I come there, and he goes like, yeah, I was gonna give you your quiz, but you looked at your phone for like a split second. And I was like, the fuck does that have to do? We're in college. The fuck? Alright, never mind, just go on.
Okay. Yeah, some of these are just like, I don't know. CK draw stuff. Mars, what happened to your Disney World video?
Oh, I don't know. I just unlisted it because I thought it wasn't even monetized, and I thought like, yeah, this sucks.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They
we don't
moved on
watch
some
Park.
other
We
ones.
don't want.
Some other ones were just like, yeah, some of them just suck, and I just unlist them.
We don't watch Parks and Rec. Okay. Okay. From R. Walterson. Question: who have been the nicest celebrities you've met, if any?
Who's the guy from Trauma? He was pretty nice.
Oh, Lloyd Kaufman.
Oh, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we saw him at Comic-Con this year.
We got photos.
Nice.
Yeah, we saw him last year too, for like a second.
Love to talk to that guy.
This time, like we our friend Sean, our friend Sean, literally like a guy like his Toxic Avenger Blu-ray signs. It's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We also bought Cannibal the Musical on Blu-ray.
the only I think I haven't interacted with many like celebrities. I met Sean Astin from like Lord of the Rings and the Goonies, and at this point when I met him, I was like, it was a few years ago, so I was like shorter than I think I was like 5'2", almost 5'3". I was almost as tall as he is.
Oh damn.
Yeah, he was pretty nice guy.
Yeah. I haven't met too many celebrities, but the ones I met have been decent. Like I met David Blaine once. He was alright. I met him when I was a kid. He did like that whole block of ice thing in New York. It was great.
Didn't he rape someone?
Did he?
Who?
I think he did.
David Blaine?
Yeah.
Glum, your hero.
I was thinking of like a normal. I don't fucking know David Blaine's current association.
April 1st. Is it? It's not really good. David Blaine under investigation for 2 sexual assault complaints. Police say. Is this an April Fool's?
No, it was a thing earlier. It was.
No, I'm seeing it on April 2nd, so probably not.
It was
Yeah,
like
it was
a.
on April 1st, so it doesn't. So they're liars.
All right, well, I'm not gonna cut that, but fucking, that's funny.
Come on, come on.
I'm not gonna cut it. It's funny.
I saw April 1st. It's like, is this a joke? And it's like, no.
Okay. Well, scratch that. All right. Well, I met Marmy. I know this, but I've talked about this before. Like, I met Mark Helm for like a split second at New York Comic Con a couple years ago, and he just took a picture with him. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty nice. Yeah, pretty much. It was nice to see him, and then watch Last Jedi like a couple months later.
I met
and then it's like Kevin Conroy the year before. It's pretty cool. I have a nice picture with him.
What's his fucking name? What's his name? I met him and I got something signed. It was Steve Bloom. I met him at like a local convention. And I was like, dang.
Oh.
I talked about on one of the old Cartoon Planet episodes. We talked about Vic Mignon. I went to his.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just gonna fucking say that, like, that whole episode, looking back on it, like that whole story of how he just kind of talked about himself for an hour and a 90-minute Q&A. Ouch.
Yeah. And then one. Oh yeah, there was Carrie Mean, the guy who plays Frylock in Aquatrine Hunger Force. I didn't really meet him, but like I was walking past him just like normally in the show floor in Comic Con. He was just sitting at a booth next to like the guy who played Mike TV, and it was just signing autographs and shit for like money. He's like, "Hey, nice afro."
What about what about the people from Archer? They do that to you every year.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, so yeah, I went to the Archer panels, and yeah, I've gotten my hair compliment. You know, Aisha Tyler, just Lucky Yates, and from people from Archer, the press panels. Really pissed I couldn't go to that this year.
Yeah.
All
right. Doctor, here's a question I like from Dr. Z. What's worse in your opinion? Something that's extremely boring and lifeless, or something frustrating and maddening? Also, thoughts on animated Deathstroke series.
No idea about that second one.
What's worse in your opinion?
Yeah.
I would say something that's boring and lifeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Frustrating and maddening is like, yeah, that makes me feel something, and like I can talk about that and get some vague entertainment, like yelling about Last Jedi or some shit.
Yeah, that's like
frustrating and maddening.
Yeah.
I think of more like
I was thinking more of like a real life thing, like your car like gets like.
But like lifeless and boring. It's like we're not gonna talk about that.
What is he talking about? Movies and like
Yeah,
media?
I'm
assuming movies.
Yeah, like
movies are like TV shows. We're talking about media. How lifeless and boring is your car, bro?
I thought he was just talking about life in general. Like, would you rather have a boring and lifeless life or a frustrating or maddening one? And it's like,
I guess frustrating is also a good thing to have there, because like that's at least something you're struggling with. Because you're at a dead end office job when you're like just basically one step away from being Edward Norton's character in Fight Club.
I could be frustratingly mad, successful.
I guess so.
You do.
I mean, like the jets of like our interactions, like our live streams and podcasts, are just like us, me and Mars, like doing about like very frustrating and maddening things. I guess.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it's. Yeah. I always like. I remember more about like something like Suicide Squad than I do like a good chunk of Mark. Well, no, not even Joker. Joker has more interest than that, but I think I'm
probably gonna think more about Suicide Squad than I will of Joker, honestly.
I think more about like stuff like that compared to, or like something like Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, yeah.
More than I think of something like most like movies I see, which are kind of just like uninteresting.
Yeah.
Like, not bad, but not, like, particularly special either.
Transmission Rory, has there ever been a TV show or a film that you thought was dangerous in the message it sends?
Not really a lot.
Bad from the new
what episode?
That one about, like, I think it was, like, some, like, I'm trying to remember it. It was, like, a fucking, like, really bad one, that one episode with the unicorn.
Oh,
what show?
The Powerpuff Girls reboot. The unicorn thing where they tried to.
What's that one's about? Is that like
they tied it into
weird
like
self-insert thing.
It's like no, they tied it into like transgender issues without understanding. I mean, I guess like Birth of a Nation or something like that. Other than that, I can't really think of much. I think that most of that I don't think much media like intends to send like a harmful message. If it does send a harmful message, it's more so like unintentional, like by how misguided it is.
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot of misguided. Like I can think of like I remember like in the worst Rocky movie ever, Rocky 5, was like Rocky's kids having bully troubles, and he solves his bullying troubles like beating the shit out of the bullies, and like his dad's like completely okay with it.
I think of like stuff like Green Book or other like things where it's like the way it treats racism is kind of like a thing of the past and it's very misguided.
Yeah.
Like I understand you're trying to make like you're trying to like be against racism, I guess, but it's like fucking really unintentionally like it weirdly like simplifies things.
Yeah.
I can't really think of a movie with a terrible message at the top of my head.
I mean, we already said Birth of a Nation. I think that's kind of the big one. Yeah, like, as long as your movie doesn't, like, restart the KKK, I think there's a certain level of, like, I don't know. I think there are other things, like, there's a lot of, like, pieces of media from the past, like, that have kind of different attitudes towards things. Like, things like, if you watch some older movies, their attitudes towards, like, rape, things like that aren't really that good.
Yeah.
And I think, like, there's an argument you could use as, it was kind of a thing of the past and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't really...
I would say probably like a movie that will probably make me a little bit feel weird, and I probably will say it feel pretty good. Probably Revenge of the Nerds in a way.
Oh, yeah.
In some way, so it would just be like, yeah, it's kind of like creepy.
Yeah, it's not a movie that could have the exact same thing happen in 2019.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff like in that 80s era.
The weird 80s sexual stuff is kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, that's like that shit would
gets
not
very muddled
fly these days.
Nope.
You have like because that's I don't think like people are complaining that edgy humor has kind of died out. I don't think that's true. I just think stuff like the '80s teen sex comedies. I think
it's
those
like
have kind of
Porky's.
all that stuff has just died
Caddyshack.
out because that's not really that attitude's kind of weird now. Like not really like that stuff. Like it's like edgy comedy is still kind of thriving in a lot of places. I don't think it's going. I don't think it's gone anywhere. I think it's just changed to fit.
Maybe a little bit different with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh wait, no, I did think has like I think if a movie handles like a pretension like a serious subject matter with an air of pretension, I think like the movie Elephant fucking pisses me off more than any other movie because it tackles the subject of a school shooting in one of the most pretentious ways possible.
It's like cyberbully or something like that.
No,
not even like that. Like Elephant's like a real movie made by a real filmmaker, and it's like the most pretentious fucking piece of garbage. So yeah, that's like I don't think I really hate many movies that much, but like if I do think of something that makes me like legitimately, that's right there. Yeah, that's kind of about it. I don't really think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
So
it's like really pissing me off or something. All right.
Yeah.
Let's set up one more. All right. From Heyo My Ayo. Okay. From most disappointing video games.
I've been disappointed by many fucking Dragon Ball Z games.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball Z Sagas. It was like one that I still remember. Like I had it like day one and it sucked.
Probably, I'd say that like there was a point in time where I thought like I think Sunset Overdrive is I know you guys really enjoy that game from
what I played, it's alright.
Like it's a game for me that like I feel like I would like it a lot more, but I really think the gameplay kind of gets boring after a while. That's my big thing. Like most like open world games kind of disappoint me after a certain point because there's with a few exceptions like GTA 5, like all the GTA games. Like
I was disappointed in GTA
stuff
5, so yeah, putting that there.
I don't know. I can understand being disappointed in that, but I love that game. So
yeah.
I love every GTA game.
Yeah, but I think of most other open world games. Like I think of like
Mafia.
Stuff.
Mafia 3 is a very disappointing game.
Like all of that. Like a lot of the games that try to have aspects of GTA stuff, except for Saints Row. Those at a certain point that evolved. It completely
evolved into anything.
It completely bonkers, and I like that. But it's like anything that's really like open world, but it doesn't really provide much stuff to do.
Pro Skater 5 was pretty disappointing. Freaking that 30 minutes of this game that I thought from Ubisoft was about being like a snowboarder and like snow sports stuff. Steep was pretty disappointing for the 30 minutes I played of it. That game, The New Thief, was pretty lame. I never played any other Thief game, but I remember I thought it looked cool,
amazing.
but it looked like but it kind of played like shit.
BioShock Infinite was really disappointing.
Yeah.
Especially looking back on it.
Looking back on it, yeah, that's disappointing. When I played it, I didn't play any other first-person shooters, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. It's pretty alright.
No. For me, I guess like any Fallout 4 is really disappointing back on that too.
Fallout 4 was pretty disappointing. All of Fallout I never really liked, so that's just my stance.
But the 2 seconds you played in New Vegas and
I played like a good 8 hours of it and I was bored.
How'd you play 8 hours in New Vegas?
Huh? Because I played 8 hours of it, and it was boring when I played it when I was like a couple years ago.
I guess it's also like just a New Vegas is a very bad starter for Fallout. It's a very good game, but you should not start out Fallout.
Yeah, honestly, like I started with bits of 3, but I didn't get to play it much. But New Vegas
New Vegas, New Vegas is a very good game, but it's not a good introduction.
New Vegas is one of my favorite games of all time, but it also like makes every other third-person Fallout game shit in comparison, which is why I really enjoy like I need to play more of the first two because I bought
the first two are very good. I still hold 3 in a very high regard because like that gave birth to New Vegas and made it like a million times better. And I still like the way 3. I still like a lot of aspects of 3 that no one really talks about. Everyone just says like, "Oh, it's shitty." It's not.
3 is not bad. I like it to an extent, but I don't think it's aged the best.
I guess I don't know. I feel like it's still. I think that it's still a very good introduction to the series, and I think if I'm gonna tell someone for starters, I'm gonna tell them to play 3 first, rather than New Vegas.
You wanna know?
Well.
A game that's probably the most disappointing game. I'd probably say like Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain.
The Phantom Pains.
I say I really like playing that game, but it is pretty disappointing. Like looking at it in its totality and how many years of trailers it was. I was like, yeah,
I could completely understand
this
that.
did not live up to anything. I would still say it's a good game, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the story that's really like bad.
Oh, not really. I guess not really disappointing. I don't know. Not disappointing to me, I guess, but like buying a Switch for Smash Ultimate.
Fuck you. I like this fucking
Smash Ultimate's it's fine, but like I really wish I didn't pay for it. Because, like, looking back, I was very disappointed like with a lot of the stuff on that thing.
Evil.
I'm just like I'm probably gonna get more like I want to get more indie titles that I don't have on my
yeah, I'm trying to play with my Switch more. I'm playing like different games. Like
I've
gotten some stuff on the eShop, and I'm playing Skyrim a little bit.
I want to get Cuphead on the eShop because like I want to have that like something like that on the go. Yeah. That's like the big thing is I mostly play my Switch like I don't play it on my TV that often. Any Mortal Kombat games after Mortal Kombat 9. Mortal Kombat 10 and 11 suck. Yeah.
The gameplays are cool, but the fucking story sucks ass.
Yeah, I've been disappointed in like a lot of Mortal Kombat ones, except for 9 when I played it on
my... 9 has been definitively still the best.
When I played it on my Vita, it's actually a good port of it. It's really good. Everything else after that is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Uncharted 4 is pretty bad too.
Mafia 3.
Let's try to end this episode on a. Is there anything you guys are looking? We talked a lot about like in the questions. We talked about a lot of stuff like shit teachers, stuff that's like frustrating or boring and all that. Let's talk about what's something you guys are looking forward to.
Just in general, like movies or something.
Yeah, just anything really.
I'm probably gonna watch Primal pretty soon because I know that that has been getting really good reviews for like the 5 episodes that it is.
I missed that. I was like, it
looks really good. I just wanted to like watch something Genny's made. So
I wanted to check it out like when it was airing, but I was like,
I don't fucking watch.
And
TV.
it was like I saw something on my Twitter about it. It's like, oh, Primal is premiering at like this time at night. I was like, I don't have time to watch this.
Exactly.
I gotta sleep. I got shit to do tomorrow. And then like I forgot about that. And then it was like once it was over, I saw a tweet. It was like the final episode of Primal was on. I was like, oh fuck, I missed it. I think I missed like the last episode of Mr. Robot too because I was busy doing other shit then. But yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for BoJack.
Oh yeah, that I'll probably finish BoJack at some point. I still need to get past season 1.
I'd say it's pretty worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be.
I'm looking forward to watching The Irishman because it comes out on Netflix, and they're like, oh, let's see if Joe Pesci's return to like.
See if
around
He hasn't done anything, I don't think. He was gonna be in Gotti, but that failed.
Gotti.
Oh no,
the movie past production.
Yeah, but all right. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to final season of Mr. Robot. Stuff like The Lighthouse looks really good.
I'm looking forward to playing The Witcher, like more of the Witcher games, because I played the first one for like a couple minutes, for like an hour or two. And it's pretty alright so far. Like it's very campy and boring. And I just finished reading the books, and they're very good. So
I'm excited for you also mentioned The Irishman. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for
Jojo Rabbit.
That too. That looks really good.
I keep getting ads for it when I watch Red Letter Media videos. Critics say that Jojo Rabbit is
I'm excited for they're making fucking Blade Runner guys making the Dune movie, and I'm excited for that.
That's gonna happen, I guess.
Probably gonna read through the book again. Because I need to finish it because I keep starting but not finishing.
Watch every cut of the movie again.
Oh God, no.
I
love David Lynch, but not like that. That might be going a bit too far.
Which one are you looking for, Mars?
Birds of Prey, Minions.
Yeah. Anyway, but we're gonna end this now. Look forward to this, and we're gonna have look forward to our BoJack one probably, and then we're gonna have another episode pretty soon. It's gonna be completely different. It's not gonna have a certain person in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
I was very confused there.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder who it's gonna be.
I wonder who's gonna be on it. I wonder who's not gonna be on this episode.
Oh boy, okay. This has got a bit of suspense to it now.
All right. Yeah, so that's your hint of the day. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys later.
Bye.